Hey, it's Ryan from the Mandem Fund, and I'd firstly like to congratulate every single team that has taken part in this year's Student Investor 2018. And I think there are 8 teams, yes, 8 teams who have qualified for the final. And this final will take place on the 27th of April, so approximately 29 days from now, after half term in about 2 weeks, by the looks of it, or 1 week and a half. Now, first of all, I'd like to use this video as an experience and an opportunity to relay my own personal thoughts and the discussions that myself and my team have also had regarding our experiences. So firstly, I'd like to say to me, this has been a strong experience, and I can imagine to many other teams it has also, because this is a great experience to practice investment skills, learn investment skills, or develop investment skills without having to put actual exposure up, actual money. For me personally, I've been in trading of equities and commodities mostly for the past 4 years, maybe 4.5 years. And throughout that time, I've learned, but I have one regret that I didn't dive right in. I began my investment journey by investing on the first time that I could see how the markets would work. So I learned around it and tinkered around. But obviously, with the amount of work I'd been putting in, I was making sure I didn't make mistakes. But the problem is, you do make mistakes. And for all people interested in investment, you have to understand that you cannot have a 100% hit rate. For me, my personal hit rate is 86%. Yet, it doesn't matter whether you're right 86% of the time. It matters about the magnitude of your trades. It matters about the timing of your trades. In fact, if there's anything that is the most important thing to know to any amateur investments and even investors and even professional investors, it is the one thing that we need to focus on. It's timing. Timing in an investment is key. If you think a company is a good investment, do not buy it immediately until you have done severe due diligence, until you know that it is that point that you should purchase into it. And of course, there is no set way to do this, but you have to develop your own strategy. You can never copy somebody else's strategy. There are no easy money schemes around the internet. In 4 years to 4.5 years of equity investment I've experienced in markets such as the AIM, which is the Alternative Investment Market Exchange, and anywhere from those high risk, low market cap exchanges to low risk, high market cap exchanges such as the FTSE 100. And I can also say from experiences in markets outside of the UK, such as the TSX in Canada and obviously the NYSE in the US, we can notice that this essence of timing is imminent in every single market you come across. And it's just there because you have to work around it. Now, if you want to learn how to invest with the right timing, you've got to learn from your losers. You can never come and make money immediately and consistently make returns. If there's ever somebody that comes to you and says you're immediately guaranteed to make money every single trade, they're lying to you. So that's one thing that we've distinguished from the beginning. Timing was very important, and also magnitude. You do not go full allocation or minimum allocation just so you can get a trade in. The same thing in real markets. When you're hedging, when you're making, if you don't know what hedging is, please research it up. It's too complicated to explain, and you can find a more simpler definition on the internet. But it's a tool used by hedge funds most of the time to make sure that risk is less by hedging on another investment. So when you hedge, in this case we cannot short. So in this competition, you must be going long on positions that you see have reward based on your due diligence. It's a simple concept, but when you put your size in, you've got to be valuing the risk. In this case, you have a 100k portfolio. You've got to be understanding where you're going to spread your butter in essence. Because if you have £100,000 and you need to put it slowly and smoothly across a portfolio, it's not going to work for you. But if you spread it out so that if this fails, this does well, that's how hedging works. That's one thing you should know when coming into this competition. If you really want to put your mind to it, this is a strategy to know in depth. Obviously, from hedging as a simple investment mechanic tool, it's way better when you use shorting investments. So that's investing on something going down. But for us in this competition, we had learned through these strategies that I'd relayed onto my team that we could actually develop individuals who began with little prior knowledge about investment to individuals that had reasonably competent, in fact, very strong competency within financial literacy. And that's something that inspires me to work harder and learn more and try and conquer the markets again, in the sense that if I find a great investment, then I realize this is the strive I have to find another one. Or if you do badly in an investment and things don't work out, you've got to strive and work harder. I personally despise whenever somebody refers to investments as gambling, because investments are not gambling. Investing is not gambling. Just like any other profession, if you do not invest properly, if you do not do your job properly, you're gambling with your job. You're gambling with your life. Because for example, in investment, if you have £100,000 portfolio in the competition and you want to perform well, if you buy random things, you'll do good one day, but inevitably, the more you gamble and risk, the more your odds decrease. Well, your chances of doing well decrease. And before you know it, you will have lost probably most of your portfolio. In a FTSE 100, mostly based company or competition, it's not that easy to lose all of your investment because these are the top 100 companies in the UK. But in the real investment world, do not be fooled. You can lose everything. I know many people who were very close to losing everything. I had learned from very big down days and also bad experiences in the market, but you can also have very good days and very good experiences in the market, but you have to learn more. You've got to teach yourself every single thing you want to know, because another person can teach you their perspective and you can understand it, you can take it into consideration, but when you learn yourself, that's the difference. So our team, these individuals who worked really hard, put in the effort, put in the work, learned about investment, and as you can see, we finished first in round one. In round two, we came in the top 8. That's because we worked hard, and inevitably, as a team, we worked towards that result of qualifying for the finals and hopefully going on to prove ourselves even more. Now, this team inspires me a lot, and I've also been inspired a lot from individual members in our team, because coming onto something that is a completely different area for you and giving it your best shot and always learning and always researching and doing any tasks, that inspires me, because I remember reading in a book called The Art of Execution by Lee Freeman Shaw, a successful hedge fund manager. He said if you teach any normal individual how to learn trading, such as the film In Trading Places, where two characters from different backgrounds were swapped, and then one completely was unsuspected in his profession. Now, I think it is exactly like that. If you really want to learn something and put your strive to it, you are very likely to succeed. And that's what this experience has also taught for us. So we'll have to give it our best in the final, and I hope any other teams watching this can gain some inspiration to do your best.